Hi folks, I'm Steve Hindi for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness, Shark. On Tuesday, July 19, 2016, Shark held a press conference in Salinas, California. The subject was the California Rodeo in Salinas, which is California's largest rodeo. We actually invited 7 individuals from the rodeo side to attend the press conference, and we even provided seating. None of them showed. At the press conference, we exposed some very damning information about the rodeo and the California Veterinary Medical Board. We discussed the disturbing conflict of interest of the rodeo veterinarian due to his varied and numerous connections to the rodeo, which give him many reasons to minimize animal injuries. We demonstrated that the rodeo acknowledges the officially unreported animal injuries, that they know what they can do to prevent them, and that they're unwilling to take any of the necessary steps. We exposed the alliance between the rodeo and the Monterey SPCA. The SPCA plays both sides of the fence, claiming to oppose rodeo cruelty on its website, while actually giving the rodeo cover when needed. A reporter for the Californian newspaper, the main newspaper in Salinas, showed up, but the article that came out afterward ignored the major issues. Salinas television station KION was there, but nothing has come out, at least not yet. I don't think the lack of reporting was due to the reporters who showed up, as both seemed intelligent and motivated. There are towns that have rodeos, and then there are rodeo towns. A rodeo town sells itself to the rodeo, lock, stock, and barrel. It doesn't matter what kind of cruelty, cowardice, or corruption is uncovered, a rodeo town will support the rodeo, because the town is addicted to the money the rodeo brings in. Healthy towns don't depend on animal cruelty spectacles for their survival. Unfortunately, Salinas is a rodeo town, and its business and political leaders are completely given over to the rodeo, no matter how much we uncover. Toward the end of the Californian article, the paper gives the rodeo's spin doctor an opportunity to spew nonsensical propaganda about how well the rodeo cares for its animals. The other side should have an opportunity to respond to our charges, but it should not be allowed to simply spew propaganda, especially when the purpose of the press conference was to show hard evidence of abuse. How can any supposed journalistic endeavor allow that? As ridiculous as the lack of journalism at the Californian, it just gets worse one town over. The Monterey Herald newspaper didn't even bother to send a reporter. Both the Californian and the Monterey Herald give the rodeo at Salinas an enormous number of fluff pieces and free publicity. The coverage is simply off the scale. Regardless, both publications are resistant to even reporting mediocre coverage of the truth. You can click here to see our press conference in its entirety. Click on these links to find contact information for the Californian and the Monterey Herald newspapers, and please let their editors know what you think. Let's see just how determined these newspapers are to ignore the truth. There's a lot of attention and paranoia about anti-American forces in the world, but I think the most anti-American threat we face is not outside our country, but from within. For when an entity, such as the media, is not only afraid, but downright intent on covering up the uncomfortable truth, we are all done a terrible disservice, and our freedom is ultimately put at risk because we don't know what's going on in our own country. I'm Steve Hindi for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness.